consultant do exact. Okay, do exact. Okay, I'll come back to this question later. So I hope I have answered this question and I have made you understand the practical things in SAP. Madam, can we take a break now for 10 minutes?
Yes, sir. Sure, sir. No problem. So students, we'll be taking a short break of 10 minutes and we'll be back by 12:10.
Will I have the access to get into? Will I have the access to get into Reliance company? Absolutely no. So in the practical SAP project scenario, there is no way that you can enter transactions in a wrong company code. As an experiment, these mistakes can happen only in your test scenario, like we are using a testing server. So you can see so many company codes. But believe me, in your live SAP systems, whenever you get into a project, you will not be given access to any other company code. You must operate only in the given company code. I hope I have answered this question in detail. What does a functional consultant do exactly? Okay, I'll come back to this question later. So I hope I have answered this question and I have made you understand the practical things in SAP. Madam, can we take a break now for 10 minutes?
Yes, sir. Sure, sir. No problem. So students, we'll be taking a short break of 10 minutes and we'll be back by 12:10. Hello, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
So we can resume the session.
Sure, sure.
Yes.
All right, now let's get back to the question. What is the role of a functional consultant? Functional or technical? He's supposed to have good knowledge of the business, meaning whenever the consultant sits down with the business owner trying to understand his SAP requirements, he has to know how his business is operating. What does he do? What is he doing? What are the reports? How is he carrying out the transactions? What are the business processes? Right? So he is a combination of SAP plus your business analyst. He's supposed to be a SAP, good knowledge of SAP, and he should be in a position to analyze the business requirements of the implementing company, of the implementing partner. And during the process of implementing SAP at the implementing partner's side, one more duty of the consultant is training of the end users. Preparation of various manuals, testing documents. Clear? So these are all the broad areas where the functional consultant should be working. I hope I have answered this question. What is the role of a functional consultant? I hope I have answered that question. All right, now there was also a question. Just a moment, I'll just take that question up. So two company codes will be the same? No. But what is the statement? Now, but there are two things. No company code can be existing in the same. Now, for example, in my client 900, I cannot have two GM01. I can have only one GM01. In some other client, you can have GM0. But in the same client 900 which I am using, SAP will not be creating two company codes with the same code. You can have GM01, GM02, GM03 in the same 900, but you cannot have two GM01s in the same client. No two company codes can be the same in the same SAP system. I hope I have made that point clear now. So should be very, very clear on these things. I hope I was clear. how to create ledgers. Sai Abhishek, please wait. We'll take up this question at a later time. How do you create ledgers? Okay. It can happen. It can accidentally happen, provided you have the access, as you rightly say. All right, but these things will not happen. Such minor things will not happen at all in the live SAP systems. Does SAP doesn't have any security or restrictions? That's what I said. See, the first point about the security is whenever you are working on one specific client, you will not be allowed to work on any other client. So that means you will not be having access to any other company code at all. If I'm working on the Hindustan Unilever project, I'll be given access to the data which is relevant to my working. That is all. Clear? Have I answered that question? So there is no question of the security at all because you will not be given access to it at all. So there is no question of you getting into another system. So have I answered all the questions? So we just discussed what does a functional consultant do exactly. And one more important thing. The responsibility of a functional consultant is to design or to configure the SAP system after having understood the requirement of the business organization. After understanding the business requirements of the implementing partner, the functional consultant goes about creating the SAP system for that specific business. Clear? Just a minute. Yeah, I hope I have. Yeah, can a client have two company codes? Absolutely. Now you saw 900 client having so many company codes. Didn't you see that? It had GM01, it has 1023. So one client 900 can have any number of company codes. Yeah, it can have. One client can have more than one company code. It can have more than one company code. But no two company codes can have the same identity. There can be no two GM01s in the same client. Are you getting my point? Clear? I hope these points are getting clearer and clearer. Okay, now coming back to SAP. So now I think I'll have to re-log into SAP. Just give me a moment. Now, this is your easy access screen, the first and the foremost and a very basic screen which opens out in SAP once you have provided your user credentials. What does your user credentials consist of? It contains the relevant client on which you are given permission to work on, your individual user IDs, and the password. And you should also know that once, let me show you something on this screen. Can you see once the database administrator or the concerned authority gives you the information about your system? Okay, having the client, the user ID and the password. For the first time when you enter the system, SAP system, by giving in all the credentials, SAP pops up with a message saying that you will have to change the password. Can you see the new password here? On top. Every time you log into the system for the first time, SAP automatically takes you into a screen where it prompts you to change the password. So you change the password. Clear? So when you're working on the live projects, this becomes a very, very important task and a security issue. So the projects, in one of the projects, we had to change the password every 3 months. It was mandatory, or else the next day after the expiry of 3 months, you would not be in a position to log into the system at all. Okay, so there will be a fixed time or a fixed time frame within which you need to change the password. And as I said, I'll again repeat, all this information, whatever you're seeing on the screen, your client, user ID, and the password, they are confidential. They are not to be shared even with your closest of your friends. Clear? Okay, now, once when you enter into the easy access, and this screen is also called as a session. Clear? Now, the blank box, what you see, place where I'm moving the cursor, is called as the command field or the command box. This is the place where you enter the transaction codes. Now you got exposed to one transaction code, FB50. What is FB50? The place where you enter the journal voucher. Correct? I want to enter a simple journal entry. Okay. Now, how do I normally go to that place? I go to accounting. I go to financial accounting. I go to general ledger. I go to document entry. This is your FB50. Clear? Now, how does this help me with? If I happen to remember the transaction codes, and believe me, it is simply not possible for you to remember all the transaction codes. There are lakhs and lakhs and lakhs of transaction codes. Okay, so it is impossible for you to remember all the transaction codes. So as an end user, since my job is to enter only the journal vouchers, why should I navigate through the whole of SAP? Go to accounting, go to financial accounting, then go to general ledger accounting, then go to document entry. So why do I have to do it? I simply enter the transaction code in my command box. You see, I have entered FP50, enter. You can also make use of this bold tick mark, or you can also press enter on your keyboard. Can you see it is straight away taking me into the transaction? So we defined what is a transaction code, right? A shortcut key for the user to directly enter into any transaction. Now, did you understand how I make use of the transaction codes? Okay. Now, as I said, now I have changed the company code to 1023. It is somebody else company code. I'm the owner of GM01. So switch company code. As I said, every field, or if any field has this icon. Can you see this icon just after that 1023? This means it has n number of company codes. And these company codes are all in your client 900. Somebody asked me a question, can there be n number of company codes? Yes. Just because this is a test server, you can see so many company codes. But the answer, if somebody asks you, can a client have more than one company code? Obviously and definitely your answer should be yes. Clear? And in this, I can also search. Can you say find? Can you see that find? You can give your company code GM01 and enter, and you can see the binoculars find. Or you can simply come back because you can see from line 1. Not a problem. So there are so many other company codes. So here what I can do is now can you see this changing to GM01? So in case I am in a wrong company code, I can always change it back to my company code. The first and the foremost activity of the end user or of the consultant is to ensure that he is in the right company code. Clear? Now, what are these things called? They are called as the fields. Your document date, your posting date, reference. Now, one beauty in SAP is I don't know what a company code is. I want to understand what a company code is. So what do? I highlight or I activate that particular field. See, can you see that I have activated that? I'm in the company code field and I press F1. F1 on my system. You're able to see my SAP screen, madam? Am I audible? I don't know why the connection was cut. Can somebody please confirm? Janvi ma'am, you are able to hear to me? Hello. So just confirm if you are able to hear to me. If I do not, let me just take up a question. Just a moment.
Yes, sir. Sir?
Oh, perfect, man. Perfect. Okay.
Yes.
No, because I think I had lost the connectivity.
Okay, okay, okay.
Okay.
Audible
Now,
now, sir.
okay. Now, I want to understand what a company code is. I don't know what is the meaning of a company code. So SAP explains the meaning of any of the field, how I go to that field and simply press F1. What is F1? Your help key. See, the company code is an organizational unit within financial accounting. Click on company code. It will give you an elaborate explanation as to what is a company code. The smallest organizational unit in financial accounting. Okay, so you can read. Okay, so this is your F1 function F1. So each field has a help. You can go and read that particular field. If you do not understand the meaning of it, you can definitely go and read the explanation of that. Okay. I said this was the document header portion. Above the 0 items, what you see here, it is your header portion. Down below the 0 items, it is your line items. What is line item? You are actually entering the transaction. Debit and the credit, you are entering here. Okay. Now, let us try to enter document date. Okay. Now, what is this document date and what is this posting date? Any idea? Just think over it. I'll finish this activity and then come back and let us revisit this question. Now you can see total debit is 0, total credit is 0. And you can see the light glowing in the center. You can see a small triangle, balance not yet determined. So I have ensured that I'm entering the transaction in GM01, right? On this particular day. My journal voucher, you can also give some information, journal voucher number 56895. Journal voucher number 56895. Some number, journal voucher. Now, after I finish the entry in my header information, I come to the line item information where I enter the transaction now. As you can see, can you see the same icon we saw next to that company code? So this also has a drop down. This also has some information. Click. It will show you the number of GL accounts. Okay. Description in the chart of accounts, GL account. So I'll take a list of 500 general ledger accounts and just say enter. It will show me all the general ledger accounts, what is there in my company code GM01. Now, I will just take some example. All right, I will take maybe say gas expenses. Okay. So I will say debit or a credit. Debit. Just say 500 rupees. How do you know this is a gas account? I will tell you. Now I will take up a cash account. If at all there is cash account, I will take cash, or maybe if there are no cash accounts, I will take a bank. Not a problem. Do I have any cash account? Okay, sample bank account, sample bank account. Okay. This is a credit. I enter the same 500. Now I said SAP doesn't understand the English debit or the credit. What is this topic? Posting keys. Debit or a credit indicator. This is your posting keys. This is your general ledger accounts, which are available in the operational chart of accounts. So what is my entry? Sample expense account, gas account. Okay, debit, and the sample bank account getting a credit. Now, can you see the light is still in the center? The total debit and the total credit is still 0. Now, I'll press enter on my keyboard, or I can also click on this. I'm just taking a very small example. Not open, not open. So can you see what are the errors that I'm getting? So these are the errors which the end user may also get. So the functional consultant also resolves the errors. Errors reported by the end users. So do you know the role of a consultant now? Now I don't know how to resolve this because I'm an end user. So what do? I, as a consultant, so it's good that I got this error. Okay. Now to explain the errors. First thing is I'll explain the errors. Just give me a moment's time. So errors are reported in SAP. Let me also make that point. Okay, I'll add some. Errors are reported in SAP in the following color combinations. Red color, black color. Errors indicated in black or red. They are critical and the system will not proceed ahead. Now in this case, red, so it does not move ahead till a person rectifies this error. Till the knowledgeable person understands what the error and resolves this error in the SAP system, SAP will not move ahead. I am getting stuck in this place. Now, there are messages in yellow also where they are just information. They are not exactly errors which can stop the activity, but it is just an information to the concerned person who's using that system about how the system is behaving. Now I have got stuck in a critical error. Because of the color, I have understood that it's a critical error. So yellow or black, I mean red or black, critical error. Needs to be rectified or corrected. So this error needs to be definitely rectified and corrected. But whereas if it is an information, system allows the user to proceed because it is not an error. It is just a message or it could be a warning. It is just an information or a warning. Clear? Now, It's wonderful that we got this error because I can explain another concept. Now that I have got this error, I can also view the details.